my loves, it has been a hot minute since I have done any vlogging, but today I am going to start a new vlog. This is for the Long Walk Readathon hosted by Jake the Bookish Drummer and Stacy over on the Chapter Conundrum. I will link their channels down below. And of course, Libby has thwarted my efforts again. I posted the TBR not too long ago, actually a couple days ago, and then these two came through. They are on my horror bingo, so I went ahead and put hold on them. However, they said 4 and 8 weeks out, so I didn't think they would make it onto this TBR. So I am probably going to start with Play Nice and a book featuring the paranormal or the occult, which I did have the Book of Witching on here, which was a 25 to read in 2025 that I haven't gotten to yet. But since these two have come through on Libby, I want to go ahead and get them read. I'm looking forward to this so much. As I talked about in my horror video, Rachel Harrison is an author that I'm quickly starting to fall in love with. I have found I am what is considered a cozy horror reader. Didn't know that was a thing. Someone sent me a list of what cozy horror is, and I was like, oh, I've read all of those. Those are essentially what my TBR looks like a lot of the time. So yeah, I started to delve into more of those authors. Grady Hendrix, Rachel Harrison, T. Kingfisher falls into this. Moreno Garcia kind of falls into this, but cozy horror is a thing that I really love, and this is a haunted house story from Rachel Harrison, and I'm so excited. I was one of the few who liked So Thirsty. I do like when my horror has a bit of camp to it, which is the other reason I picked up Gay by Chuck Tingle. I do like a bit of camp in my stories, in my horror stories. I'm not the biggest fan of humor, but dark humor is usually what gets me if I'm going to like anything. And I like to go into my horror pretty blind, so I will update you whenever I get further into Play Nice. It's been a long time since I have vlogged. It's been over a month. I was having my PCOS, my PMDD, and my ADHD were all battling each other last month, and it was all I could do to read. I got my reading done for Magical Readathon. I barely squeaked by on that one. And I have been recording a few videos. You saw my horror bingo. You saw obviously a TBR for this month. And I have a recommendation video that I am soon to set and published. But yeah, I've had a little bit of a rough month. I felt ill for an entire 2 weeks. So it was just bad. It was just bad. But I'm back. And I'm ready to delve into some spooky books and kick off the spooky season right. Hello, checking in. Update, my poison ivy is healing, but it's looking a little bit more angry. This up here is pretty much gone, in case you guys were wondering. But I have made it to chapter 9 of Play Nice by Rachel Harrison, and it's about that far, 60-ish pages. I was going to wait to like 100 pages, but obviously this book is fairly short. And I have to say, I'm really enjoying it. I really like Rachel Harrison's writing style. I really like the kind of campiness to her books. I really enjoy how her books start off very unassuming. Like, it just seems like a regular day in the life of the character that we're following. Now, our main character, she's kind of an it girl. She does social media. She is a moneymaker in the social media aspect, but that doesn't play a whole lot into this story so far, other than the fact that the house that she grew up in, the house that is haunted, the main reason we are reading this book is being passed on to her and her sisters, and she decides that she wants to renovate it, but she wants to renovate it for her social media posts. She wants to gain access to a different side of her social media, one that would enjoy watching her renovate an old house. And this is passed down to her after her mother passes away. And her mom was abusive. And that's the reason that they don't talk to her. They're separated. They haven't had any communication with her. But she wanted to make sure that the house went to the girls. But she wanted to exorcise the house before she died. However, the last time she was at the house was when she died. So it's kind of a little convoluted right now, but not in a bad way. It's not confusing, and it's not out of the realm of possibility when you're dealing with things that are of the horror realm or hauntings or anything like that. And so I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, the camp is there, the whole unassuming beginning of the story. I'm sure this is going to play out like most Rachel Harrison, where we build the horror and build the horror and build the horror until we get that explosive ending. But really, really enjoying this. I did forget to say what book I was replacing on my TBR. So a book featuring the paranormal or occult. That is the book I was replacing, and the Book of Witching, which is on my 25 to read in 2025. This just happened to come in on Libby. And so I do hope to get to the Book of Witching soon. I'm going to have to dedicate November and December to my 25 to read in 2025 if I plan to get through those books at all. The next book that I'm going to be reading is Lucky Day. I think I showed this in the first clip, and I needed to have a book written by an author with a pen name, and I had put The Awakening by Nora Roberts on there because I have been wanting to read more of Nora Roberts to see if I still like her, because I do still keep buying books by her, but I haven't read them. And so I think I'm afraid that I won't like those books anymore, and that's what's kept me from it. I don't know what else to say about that, but I have been really excited about this, and both of these books are on my horror TBR, even if they weren't originally on this specific Readathon TBR. So I am getting to the books that I intended to read, just kind of shifting things a little bit, and I'm still very, very excited for this. But Chuck Tingle, obviously that's a pen name. Someone on the Discord said, what you're telling me, that's not his real name. So I thought it was kind of funny. And then I'm actually going to have to change another that makes me a little sad. A book by an up-and-coming horror author. I want to read The Crimson Road so bad by A.J. Slatter. However, The Possession of Alba Diaz by Isabel Canas came through on Libby as well. I'm actually a little bit irritated by that because I was wanting to read The Possession a little later, closer to Halloween. I guess that still fits into the whole TBR for this month, but I was wanting to read that one a little closer to Halloween. I do still have When the Wolf Comes Home, Blood on Her Tongue, Hungerstone. Those books I can still read close to Halloween, and they will give me the Halloween-y vibes that I am looking for. I do have my stack of books that I intend to recommend for fall picked. I have not recorded the video yet. I haven't recorded the video yet because my last 2 days have just been so hectic, and I've been just running around all over the place trying to get things done, and and my baby says that he needs some attention. He's down in the floor. But I have been trying to get back on track with YouTube, get back on track with recording. I know this last month was just awful and it made me fall even more behind than what I have been. I do want to go ahead and get my wrap-ups done for summer and get them posted so that you guys can see the books that I really enjoyed. However, I will be talking about a lot of the ones that I loved in my fall recommendations. I wanted to make sure I had some to recommend for fall. And so a lot of those books are going to be on there. And I don't know, I'm getting very excited about the spooky season and reading spooky books and everything like that. I also have The Raven Scholar lingering on my TBR, so I might even switch out another book. I don't know. Me and TBRs, we have a love-hate relationship. I love creating them, and then I hate following them. I do pick books that I think I'm going to like in the moment, but then it changes because I'm such a mood reader. So my 25 to read in 2025, I think I have tackled 5 of them, which leaves me 20 books to read before the end of the year. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do hope to get to a lot of them in the near future. And I think for 2026, I'm going to do 20 books I want to read in 2026 and kind of have them as like next in series or highly anticipated releases, things like that. I'm going to try and keep it fairly balanced because I feel like this year I have ignored every epic fantasy that I've come across on my TBR. I did end up reading Gunmetal Gods, but you guys will hear about that in my wrap up whenever we get there, and just was not impressed. I don't know what it was. I think it was the slow pacing of the beginning. I do see a lot of merit in it, and I do think that it definitely could have gone somewhere I would have liked, but I was to the point I was like, do something, poking it, come on, do something. And really it just wasn't going anywhere for me. So there's that. I'm also very excited to be tackling my book box books, because this is book of the month and this is Aardvark. So and then The Possession of Alba Diaz is also book of the month. I really have enjoyed the selections from book of the month and Aardvark. I don't anticipate getting rid of them anytime soon, but I also need to tackle the non-horror that I've been picking up from book of the month and Aardvark, because I've tackled a lot of the horror, but not a lot of anything else. So I also want to do another round of reading through my TBR and trying first chapters, mainly because I want to whittle down my TBR. You guys have seen the stacks in the floor. Part of that is because I don't have space for everything. We will be moving my library soon, so I hope that that will give me a little bit more space to put these books on there. My horror, I only have 2 shelves to put my horror on because my fantasy takes up so much room. My YA is relegated to 2 shelves. My sci-fi has now taken over this entire shelf back here that you can see. This is all fantasy over here. So I think I just need more room, and I definitely need some room for my romantasy, because I only have 1 shelf for my romantasy to fit on. I've been reading a lot of it this year, but I haven't purchased a lot of it because I'm still not 100% sure what my tastes are in romantasy. So that shelf is full. I do have books that I still need to buy, because a lot of them are first in series. Like I have Quicksilver, I have Silver Elite, God and the Gumiho. Just there's a couple of them that I have the first book, but nothing else. And so I know I'm going to be putting more up there. I might be getting rid of North Wing, the Empyrean series. That will clear up some room. That will give me some room. So we'll see. We'll see. But I will check in with you guys when I get further along in my book. All right, hey, I have finished Play Nice, and oh my gosh, this goes off the deep end. I was not prepared for how this was gonna go. I've read Cackle and I have read So Thirsty, so I know the endings of Rachel Harrison's books can get a little wild. This one goes off the deep end, and I absolutely loved it. I'm giving this 5 stars. I love Rachel Harrison's writing. I love the camp aspect to her writing. This one actually talks about a girl who has like a social media. She's like an influencer. Okay, sorry, there was a slight interruption there. But yeah, I've read a couple of her books and I really like the campy aspect of them. This has a influencer as the main character, but we don't get to see a ton of that. Basically talking about upload schedules and pandering to the media and pandering to certain things like the algorithm that we all have to face, and how that can break down when you're trying to restore a haunted house because maybe the demon takes over your phone. I don't know. But I thought this was a blast and a half. Now I have to go play the game and figure out what kind of damage I did. This one is going to let me move 3 spaces on the board. I will report back when I know what that means. But I'm going to move on to Lucky Day by Chuck Tingle. Again, I'm picking this up as an author that uses a pen name, and I'll check in with you guys whenever I get a little bit into it and know what this is about. All right, good morning, good morning. Today I have finished Lucky Day by Chuck Tingle. Now, I was going to check in with you guys about midway through. This is a very short book. And I have to be honest with you, I don't have a lot to say about this book. I enjoyed it while I was reading it, but I think it's going to be like a 3.5. I wasn't fully invested in this book at any time. The writing is good. The characters are interesting. What's going on in here is kind of wild, which I expected, it being Chuck Tingle. And I don't know. We have a girl who, one, she is bisexual, and bisexual erasure is a big part of this story. Basically, telling the main character that she doesn't exist, that like, the bisexuality doesn't exist, so therefore she doesn't exist. It's kind of a theme in this book, and I did enjoy that aspect of it. Her coming to terms with what it means, her coming to terms with what society thinks of her, those kinds of things. And there was this push to take down this casino who was causing chaos in the world, and the casino was to blame. Anyway, didn't really care for the story. I read it. I had no issues reading it. I didn't DNF. I didn't put it down. I read it in a day. So I just don't know what to say about it. Like, I'm kind of going back and forth. Like, did I like it? Did I not like it? I'm kind of just meh about it. But like I said, we have a main character. She has written this book, and it's about this casino and the corruption found there and the things that they are doing to cause chaos in the world. And all of a sudden, things start to happen. She's at dinner to celebrate the publication of this book, and all of a sudden, it starts raining fish, and the world descends into chaos. At this point, her mother, who is the one telling her she doesn't exist, bisexuality doesn't exist, is killed, and everyone is fighting for their lives. There's a whole bunch of chaotic things going on. An ape has escaped and is killing people with a typewriter. Friends are dying. The love of her life has vanished, and she kind of descends into monotony. It is at some point later, past this big event, that a guy comes and finds her and says, "I need your help." And then they go try to take down the casino that she wrote about years ago. That's basically all I have to tell you, because that's basically all this book is. I don't know. I liked the writing. I liked the characters. I liked most of this book. I just didn't care for the plot. It was okay. I don't know what else to say. I'm trying, guys. I'm really trying to come up with something to say about this, but I have nothing. I have nothing. This will be going up on my Pango because I don't feel like it's a book I need to keep. Even though I really like this cover, I would really like for it to grace my shelves. But I would definitely try more from Chuck Tingle. I do want to read Camp Damascus. I'm still iffy on the movie book, Bury Your Gaze. I don't like that trope, so we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, this morning I started Blood on Her Tongue by Johanna Van Veen, and I'm already loving this, guys. I'm only like 2 chapters in. I'm on chapter 3. My brain is not working today. Anyway, I am already invested in this. Johanna Van Veen knows how to set a scene. She knows how to catch your attention. She knows how to bring in the macabre in almost every sentence in her stories. I loved My Darling Dreadful Thing. And so I have this on for Bully because I had heard many, many times this was a Dracula retelling. I'm not 100% sure about that because this is more leaning Bogwife. That's kind of where this is going more so than Dracula. However, there have been Dracula quotes. There have been allusions to Dracula in this. So I think that's where a lot of people are getting that it's a Dracula retelling because Dracula is quoted so often and it starts out with a Dracula quote. So, I get it. I do still really want to read this, even if it's not a Dracula retelling. But right now, I just don't see it. I could be wrong. I need to get further into it, that's for sure. But this is also the current horror read-along book. And I do have the poll up for our next one. I think it's a pretty even split right now with the votes. 2 books in question are Hungerstone and The Once and Future Me. Those are the 2 that are currently in contention that have the votes in their favor. But I am enjoying this a lot. I think I need to wake up and then I will come back and give you more of my thoughts later. But it seems like I am definitely needing to get some more energy before I continue talking about anything else. Hi guys, hello. Confession time. I am failing right now. I'm still reading Blood on Her Tongue. I'm a little bit further than what this denotes because I started listening to the audiobook of it. I have not been able to read lately though. If you guys have seen my recent video, you will know that I got in a car accident. I will post an image here so you guys can see the car. I have been dealing with insurance and my brain has decided to shut down. It's tired. I'm tired. Things have not been going my way the last few days, so I've kind of just stepped away from reading. I've been playing Veilguard for the 50th time because I feel like it. I am drained, like I said. I know I'm in the middle of a readathon, and so I kind of feel like I need to apologize to my team for this, but I have not been able to focus, so it's been a little difficult. So in this vlog, I will not be finishing Blood on Her Tongue. However, I'm trying to give myself a little bit of leeway with that, a little bit of grace, because this is not something that happens all the time, obviously. You can't predict car accidents. And the guy just straight up ran into the front of my car. So he's trying to fight us now. And I'm like, there's video of it, dude. Like, I don't know how you're going to try and lie about this. But anyway, that's what we're facing. And I just have to say, Blood on Her Tongue is exactly what I expected it to be in regards to Johanna Van Veen's writing. It's creepy. It's atmospheric. I was going to go back and tab a line, if I could remember, that kind of just gave exactly what I was enjoying about her writing style. But it was just a really good macabre description. And I was just like, oh, yes, that's exactly what I want from Johanna Van Veen. That's what My Darling Dreadful Thing delivered. That's what I expected from this. However, I am still kind of bummed it's not the Dracula retelling I had been told it was, that I had seen other people say it was. And I don't know if they actually read the book, because this is more like Bogwife material. It's not vampiric. So far, at least. So far, it's not. And I do have to say, the relationships in here are weird. They're very weird. They're very toxic. And I do like that, especially given a Gothic novel. The unreliable narrator kind of aspect to it. The what's real, what's not. You know, all kinds of different things I love about Gothic novels. This is delivering. And so I'm really enjoying it. But I honestly don't know that I will finish it in the next day or two, and I really need to get this vlog up in a timely manner, because I just want to sit and play Dragon Age. I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to do anything else. Also, I did get the audio for The Possession of Alba Diaz in the midst of all of this, and I think I don't have time to read it right now. I don't have time to listen to it. I have 2 days before it goes back, so if my brain doesn't decide to function in those 2 days, I don't think I'm going to get that read. I also got the audio for Too Old for This from Samantha Downing, which is a recent purchase of mine from Aardvark. This grouping of books was not supposed to be delivered to me until after the month was over, and most of them said 7 to 8 weeks out, and now I'm getting them all at once. So I don't really know what to do with that other than try and listen to them now and fit them into what I am currently doing for the readathon. However, that does mean my TBR, I've read nothing from it yet. Absolutely nothing from it. I think I had Blood on Her Tongue because I knew I planned to read that because it is the horror read-along book. And a couple of people have already read it before me, but that's okay. I didn't get to it in the way that I hoped to get to it, but I do hope this next week will be a little bit more pleasant, a little bit more, or a little bit less chaotic, a little bit more manageable was what I was trying to say. But I am going to go ahead in the vlog here. We will pick up with Blood on Her Tongue next week. And I hope you guys have an excellent readathon month. I hope you guys have an excellent reading week. And I will see you guys later. Bye.